Are you excited? Welcome to No Excuses. I have no clue. I have no clue where that welcome came from. But you know what? It's making me laugh. So I think I'm going to keep it. Welcome to No Excuses. My name is Mary Fram. And this is my place to talk about weight loss, life, fitness, being goofy when the mood strikes, and being serious when the mood strikes. And today we are going to have a normal day. I am working today. Well, that just took my mood away. But I am working today, and so I have that to contend with. Dog is eating some food here in the dining room with me because she likes to eat with me. And I just finished my breakfast. Today's breakfast is Cheerios and strawberries. After work, I have a basket of things that I need to actually incorporate into my house from my mom's house. On one hand, it's been very difficult because, you know, your heart tells you to grab all of the stuff from mom and dad because, you know, they had memories with all of their belongings. But on the other hand, it's been very, very easy because I have kind of tailored what I bring home to, number one, something that I really need. Number two, something that is better than what I have that I can swap out. Number three, something that has sentimental value to me. But for the most part, my brother and I, a lot of the things that have sentimental value to us, they actually have sentimental value to both of us because, you know, we played with my dad's cash register that he got when he was like 4 or 5. So this cash register is 75 years old. And it's one of those things where it has sentimental value to us also. And it becomes one of those things of, well, I don't care who has it as long as one of us has it. It kind of goes back and forth. Well, I fell on the sword for this, so you take that. And, you know, we're good with that. And it's one of those things that we're doing. And so, yes, I ended up taking the cash register. We also each went through our little golden books and our little childhood books, and I got a handful of those that mean something. And my brother also took some that meant something to him. And then I ended up taking my mom's dog crib because I played with that when I was a kid. Mom did not keep that set aside. I played with that. And so I played with that hard. Mom played with it hard. It was now 70 some years old. And I have memories, so that was mine. My dad's little red wagon that isn't red. We played hard with that. We all did. When we lived in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, we lived on the side of a hill. So what we would do is we'd go up to the top of the road where there was a small hill down. We would take the wagon up there. My dad did this with us, and my dad would load himself in the wagon, then my brother, and then me in the front, and then my dad would hold the tongue of the wagon, and he would push us off, and we would swoop down the road, and then when we got to our house, we would turn. And we would go beside our house with the gravity from the hill on the road. And then the back of our house was on a hill, and we would actually go back down. And so we would swoop down the road, turn into our property, and then we would go down the whole backyard. And it was great fun. So we use this wagon a lot. So my brother is taking that one. And, you know, that was how I ended up with the doll bed. He's like, I fell on the sword for the wagon. You can take the doll bed. So, you know, it's actually been pretty easy for that stuff. If it has memories, we take it. If it doesn't, you know, it's if we want it. So I've been really good about not bringing a whole lot of unnecessary things in the house. But tonight we're going to unpack a basket and see what I brought this week. So we have an empty garbage can. Let's go get the garbage. Can we do the garbage? You're going to help me? Thank you. Let's go ahead and shut it up. Good job for helping. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She thinks she helps me. A good bowl of bean salad. There are beans, corn, peppers, garlic, all kinds of deliciousness in here. So work is over, and I am going to go through some of the stuff that I got from my mom's house. I actually bring it home in baskets and just fill up my basket each week, and I figure this will be a fun time to go through it. So the first thing I got was a picture. Mom actually went through a stage where she was doing a lot of drawings. This is one of her drawings. You see that she did sign it here at the bottom. Not bad for an amateur, better than I probably could have done. And then this one brought tears to my eyes when we were there because Mom had this on the wall for quite a few years when growing up. What it is it is just a metal serving tray. What it is their wedding invitation that has been attached to this, and it is just a decorative way to display their wedding invitation. So when I found this, this is what brought me to tears the other night. It's the random things that do it. This brought me to tears. So next up, we have something that I am like really excited about. Now, Jason and I actually have, I call them bowl plates. It's not quite a plate, not quite a bowl. I grew up with a set of dishes that had bowl plates, and I loved them. It was actually the second set of dishes that my parents used when I was young. And so Mom apparently likes bowl plates also because she saved the bowl plates. We don't have very many things from this set of china, but we do have the bowl plates. So you see, very, very, not quite bowl, not quite plate. They're a bowl plate. And number 4. So obviously Mom liked this also. I will tell you that this set probably had 12 in it when I was young. We were down to 4. We'll be using those. The next thing is a pitcher. There is nothing fancy about this pitcher except that I don't have a pitcher. So I have a pitcher now. I do remember these. Mom has a couple of them that match. And when we had Christmas dinners, when you have 10, 15, 20 people around the table, you know, I would fill these up with water, and that way we had one at each end or in the middle or whatever. So I just grabbed one not so much because of memories, although there are memories involved, but more along the lines of this is just something I don't have. So I actually already have one of these. I use it mainly for kiwis, carrots. I bought a cheap one because I needed it and it's not lasted well. I actually had one of these. My sister-in-law actually gave this one to my mom and gave one to me, the exact same one. I somehow, when I moved from Sharpsburg and got divorced, mine kind of didn't come along with me, or I only brought along half of it. I don't know, but I don't have it anymore. So this one still works good, so I'm going to use it. How's that? Next thing is a cake plate. Exciting stuff. That is not what is exciting. And this is not something that I really need per se. It is something that is a memory. So back when I was young, there was the trend that people would go to the ceramic stores, they would buy their piece, they would paint it, decorate it, they would fire it, they would glaze it, and then you would have a piece. A lot of those Christmas trees came from this time frame. And my mom did this, and she also made a cake plate. Now I know I have seen these out, I have seen these around, and they are out there. I actually saw one a while back. I'm like, my mom has that cake plate. So I got a cake plate. I do not need this cake plate. I don't know that I ever saw my mom use this cake plate as a cake plate. But number one, it has strawberries, and how amazing is that? Because strawberries are awesome. Number two, you know, it sat on Mom's table for a long time, right in the middle. She used it as a centerpiece a lot. It was just it's been in my life all of my life, even though she's never used it. So my brother reminded me of a story the other night of one of our parents' friends, and they had a boy that was my brother's age. And he came in, and this was sitting on the table. And Stevie thought he was going to pull a fast one and take off the icing. Well, didn't work. So, just a little story there for you. Next up, what do we got next? Okay. I have no clue how this got into no clue. I have to talk to my brother about this one because this is hysterical. I did not put a candle sniffer in there. This one I can tell has never been used. There's no soot inside. But if I ever decide to light a candle, I can snuff it out. The next hot pads are more sentimental value. They look like they've been through the war. Because how many of you made these for your mother at some point? All those looms? Apparently, I made 4 of them at one point or another. And they have been used, and my mom kept them. Next up, we have something that is actually, next up we have 2 things, and they are the same thing, just a different color. When I was very, very young, before my parents switched over to the China, we actually ate off of Russell Wright Iroquois China. Russell Wright is awesome. You can sometimes find them in antique stores. They can be kind of pricey. If you find the whole set, a lot of times they're going to be more of the brown colors. You're not going to find the blues, the whites, the blacks as easily. If I found a set of black or white, I'd probably buy it in a heartbeat because this was my favorite china from my parents growing up. I think in my mom's corner cupboard there is one black plate, full-size dinner plate, and I think there's one cup and saucer. And you know, she stopped using them, but you know. Even once we switched over to the china, I know I was stubborn and I continued to go and grab the couple Russell Wright plates that we had because I liked them. So we have them, they've been put away. We will come across them. I will probably get at least one of them. My brother will probably take the other. But in her cabinet, she still had the white meat platter. This is, like I said, Russell Wright. It is the Iroquois plan, and this is the white. So pretty much anytime we always go to antique stores, whether it's Jason and I or my parents, we would always look for Russell Wright Iroquois china. And whenever we would find something, my dad a lot of times would buy it for my mom. And in later years when Jason and I would come across it, I would call Dad. I'm like, hey, I just saw. And I would tell him what I found. I'd tell him the price. And 9 times out of 10, he'd be like, buy it, I'll pay you back, and then we're going to wrap it up for Christmas for Mom or for whatever holiday. So she picked up a couple pieces here and there that way. And we picked up this piece. This is another Russell Wright Iroquois china. This one is a blue, and it is the same as the other meat platter. So I have this one. There was one other platter for the Russell Wright, and my sister-in-law and my brother took that one. So you can see we're kind of flip-flopping things around. And, you know, like I told my sister-in-law, if they want it, they know where it's at. Next is something that's more reminiscent of my grandmother. This is from the diner. This set by the pass-through window where the food would go out into the dining room. Once you were done with the order, you would take your ticket and you would sit it right on top. So this is from the diner. Not last, but getting close. Just saw it. It was cute. She had 2 beehives. I went ahead and took one. My brother took the other. And then this is like the cutest little plate. Don't know what it's for. Don't know what you would use it for. I'm thinking it was like salt. But this was one of the early patterns at the restaurant when I was really young. So grab that. And then we have a food scale. Now I have a food scale. I spent $10, got a food scale. The reason I got the food scale is because I have a bird. You have to weigh your bird to make sure they're not gaining or losing weight, which reminds me, Kiwi needs weighed. So I went ahead, this one is a nice one, and I went ahead and just picked it up because this one is actually bigger. Mine is actually rather small. Next up we have this handy dandy contraption. And I'll tell you that my sister-in-law, we found a really, really nice mandolin at my mom's house. And we were debating what to do with it, and you know, we were there and we're like, eh. We decided that we were gonna go ahead and keep it. My sister-in-law has it at her house. If I need it, I know where it's at, no biggie. But then we found this. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, first of all, it needs cleaned. But I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't know how to use this thing. But apparently it's a safe slice mandolin. All kinds of instructions and pieces to it are in here. I'm sure I'll figure it out at some point. And that is my week of goodies. And so you can see, for the most part, I did actually stay along the lines of sentimental, swap, or something I need. How did I do? Let me know in the comments. So dinner was a pasta dish with hamburger and cheese, and then I made 2 different types of vegetables. So I did good with that. It is still light outside, but it is cold. I think we're going to start a fire, hang out, watch TV together, and just spend the evening together. So I'm going to call it quits for tonight. This might actually be a one day what I eat in a day, because of my sharing time seem to have gone way deep. Depends on how aggressively I edit. So if this is the end for this video, no excuses. Kiwi! Bud! So this week, Kiwi wants to talk. So this, Kiwi! So this, Keezers, silly boy. So this week when, so this week when I was there, welcome, oh my goodness, goodness.